Hey guys, how's it going? Richard here with Alien Bros. Today, I have two very strange UFO sightings for you guys, and then afterwards, a news update regarding NASA's new TESS planet hunting satellite, which we reported on a few days ago in a recent video, only this time, we have an update in regards to the satellite's findings, and a bunch of other news surrounding not only TESS, but a lot of other crazy stuff in the publicly known search for extraterrestrial life, and what it likely means for all of us. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's UFO sightings. The first UFO sighting I have for you guys comes to us from Portland, Oregon, and it was captured on September 18th of 2014, but was not submitted to anyone for public viewing until September 20th of 2018, just 2 days ago. It shows one orb UFO multiply into several, and I would rather not spoil the rest for you guys, so I'll go ahead and play the footage for you now because it speaks for itself.
Yo, what is that? There's like 5 things, bros. I don't even...
That's awesome. I don't know what it is, dude. I swear that's like...
Look at that. Dude, what is that?
Dude! They're stopping. They are stopping.
Bro, it just stopped. What the When says, let me get your house, bro.
Bro, low key. That is freaky as...
Can't, you're about to be anal probe, son.
Not even kidding, bro.
That's some alien. Like, bro, I just want to go into it and see what it is. Bro, you trying to do that?
Yeah?
Bro, let's go.
No. I'm not going near that one.
What is that?
Look, bro.
That's so close.
You see the one up top left that's not lit?
Where?
All the way up top. Left corner. It's hard as...
Yeah guys, so just as I mentioned, this sighting does indeed speak for itself, and it quite frankly has me at a loss for words here. I have never had a sighting sent into me where one orb UFO multiplied into several and then performed impossible formations in the sky. This is clearly no flares. This is clearly no skydivers with flares. This is something truly impossible for any modern aircraft. No drone can multiply in this way, nor would they be large enough to be seen so brightly from that distance. This sighting is just something else. What also gets me is the way the orb looks before it multiplies. It almost looks like a large fireball. When I first started watching this clip, I almost dismissed the case entirely as flares due to the fiery appearance of the first orb. However, the second it multiplied, my jaw dropped. Once those orbs started creating formations, and some of them flew up instead of dropping down, my jaw hit the floor. This sighting to me is incredibly impressive, and I only wish I could have been there to see this unfold in person. If you guys can come up with an explanation for this, then please do. I will be honest, I don't think there is a conventional explanation for this, and I believe the source very well caught something extraterrestrial here. It almost seems like a main mothership sending out scout ships. The source of this sighting spotted these objects while hanging out at a park in Portland, Oregon that night when they saw the strange fireball-like orb in the sky. It caught their attention immediately and completely stunned the witness and his friends when the aircraft started to multiply into several more unknown flying objects that I do believe is certainly several alien crafts. The witness noted that the general lack of speed exhibited from the objects was strange. Usually a plane or a helicopter, even when viewed from far away, are obviously still going from one point to another, and these objects clearly do not. Rather, they stop immediately in midair after aligning themselves into this strange slanted line formation. The source also stated that the lights themselves were fairly nondescript. Due to the distance of the object from them, they seemed to be just very large fireballs of light, slowly trailing through the sky. The lights were so closely packed together that when they split into 6 separate lights, it seemed as though one very large sphere had simply split into several parts. And the source is not wrong in this sentiment either. The footage very clearly shows a single object at first, and these other objects seem to be being released by that single larger orb. Even stranger is that when the orbs make the triangle formation, they take the shape of what is very clearly the setup of the typical TR-3B, and the one orb in the middle completely disappeared before taking up the strange line-like formation. I won't tell you guys what to think, because that is not what we do here on this channel. However, in my personal opinion, what we are seeing here is what I believe firmly to be multiple extraterrestrial crafts, and this footage shows something very much out of this world. This is just my personal opinion, and you guys should come up with your own based on the evidence, and I implore you guys to leave your thoughts on it down in the comments, and let me and everyone else know what you think these strange objects in this footage are. Alright, so I have another incredibly strange one for you guys. This one was captured over Medellin, Colombia on June 24th of 2018, and this was, as well, just recently submitted for review. The source of the footage was on vacation there, and it shows this stationary black disc-shaped object hovering in the skies over the city, followed by a second one, which appears out of nowhere. Now, what is really strange about this sighting is that the source's Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus's camera, which he was using to film the object, actually started to glitch throughout the entirety of the recording, as if the object was having an effect on it of some sort. Now, there have been a lot of reports of UFOs affecting technology and putting off some sort of frequency or signal that causes our technology to malfunction. However, this is the first time that I have received a video of it happening. Luckily, the source's phone did not shut off entirely, and we were able to receive about 5 minutes worth of footage of the object. I'll go ahead and play the strange footage for you guys now, and we could talk more on it afterwards, alright? Here it is.
This is zoomed in. Medellin, Colombia. Doesn't appear to be moving at all. Just still. Located in the El Poblado region. Two minutes. The thing is just sitting there, doing nothing. Let me zoom out so we get a full resolution picture. Zoom back in. Appears like it has a glow around it. That was just a fly. Definitely looks like a disc shape object. Just hovering. That was a bird. It's nothing to do with that object. Very interesting. Now, what would be really interesting if it suddenly took off, then that would certainly be some sort of UFO type vehicle. Right now it's just hovering, and I can see it with my eyes. Once again, I'll zoom out. And I'll zoom in. Too bad I don't have my other video camera. Looks like it's dimming. And then maybe the cloud went in front of it, because I barely see it. I still see it. The cloud went in front of it. What's this? There's two of them. This is definitely aerial phenomena. Okay, we got something. Alright, I have to reset the shot.
Alright, so as I mentioned, this is some pretty creepy stuff, and it just seems odd that the first object would show up out of nowhere, and immediately the source's phone started to glitch, followed by the second object, which again seemingly popped up out of nowhere. The source was on the second floor of the hotel he was staying at when he looked out the window up into the sky and saw what he described as a black oval / tic-tac shaped object just hovering silently in place within the cloud bank. He said it was difficult to gauge the distance of the craft and immediately grabbed his Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus and started recording it. And almost immediately his phone's camera started to malfunction. The witness also said the object was pitch black, but there was a glow outlining the object. After about 4 minutes, the object began to fade away into the clouds. The clouds were large and far away, but their size gives us an idea of exactly how large these two objects are, despite the distance, and it is clear that they are both very large. They are far too high in the sky to be drones, and having been an owner of a Samsung Galaxy S7 for a while now, I can state with confidence that this is not normal behavior for a Samsung product, and I would highly doubt that an S9 Plus would have this sort of issue without some kind of technological interference from the objects in the footage. The source also made it a point to me in his statement that these two objects look remarkably similar to the F-18 FLIR thermal gun camera footage released by the Department of Defense last December. I think he may be right in his comparison, although it is hard for me to tell if what we are seeing here is a tic-tac shaped craft or a disc-shaped one. Either way, they are very clearly not of this Earth, and I believe the source likely captured two alien crafts here. There is just too much strangeness regarding this case, and the evidence leads me to think that what he captured may indeed be an alien craft, possibly messing with the magnetic field around the area, and that could explain the glitching the source experienced with his phone's camera. This is some brilliant UFO footage here, and I would like to know what exactly it was that these craft were up to. Were they simply hanging out and spying on the people down below? Or did they have a specific target? In a lot of abduction cases, these craft will follow and keep track of people that they selected for repeated abductions in a way similar to how our scientists will tag and track animals. It seems that they are keeping track of subjects they selected to study us, and I think that what we are seeing in this footage may very well be these extraterrestrial entities tracking subjects that they are studying and performing these experiments on. All things considered, I don't know how comfortable I feel knowing that we are so primitive that we are studied like wildlife, and with how incredibly dark some abduction reports have been in the past, some going as far as suspected abductees being found dead, drained of all blood with precisely cut surgical-looking wounds, clearly made while the victim was still alive. It makes me worried that some of these entities may have no regard for human life and no empathy for the pain of their victims, which to me is troublesome, since we have no way of knowing who or what is in these craft, watching and studying us from above. I am not saying that all these entities are malicious in nature, but knowing that the evidence suggests that there is some that are, is troubling for me, and should be for anyone with empathy for these past victims. With all of the past evidence that we have shared on this channel, suggesting that some of our governments, the US and Russia especially, know both the existence of these unknown craft and the entities piloting them, and it makes me wonder if they are knowingly allowing this phenomenon to occur. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, and there is evidence from past incidents such as the Tuskegee experiments, along with other government-funded experiments, which show the government can have just as little regard for human life as these entities, and this, again, is troublesome. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff down in the comments. What do you guys think these objects the source captured are? And if you guys that are new here are interested in learning more about these abduction cases and the ties to our government that they seem to have with these extraterrestrials, then check out our past videos where we go into great detail on the subject and get yourself up to date on the information. All of it is very strange and the cover-up needs to end. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into the news that I brought up earlier. It seems that NASA's TESS satellite has finally beamed back images of its first 2 alien worlds. TESS stands for the Transitioning Exoplanet Survey Satellite, and it is essentially NASA's newest tool that they are using to find alien worlds and star systems closest to our own. TESS is also the successor to NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, which is currently nearing the end of its nearly 10-year lifespan. We reported on TESS and what it is in a recent video from a couple of days ago, and I'll be sure to link that video at the end of this one in the suggested box so you guys can learn more deeply about this new NASA satellite. NASA's TESS satellite in 2 years' time will scan more than 200,000 stars in a fraction of the universe for brief dips in brightness. The first alien world found, dubbed Pi Men C, was found in extremely close orbit to the star Pi Mensae and the constellation Mensa. NASA estimates the alien planet and its bright star sit roughly 60 light-years away from Earth, some 350 trillion miles away. This may seem like an extraordinarily long distance away, however, it is actually incredibly close in terms of cosmic distance. Something I also found interesting is a tweet from NASA stating that, and I quote, Pi Mensae star is visible in the night sky. The planet's mass and radius show a water-like density, and it's the system's second known planet. The other has 10 times Jupiter's mass and orbits every 5.7 years. They are suggesting here that this planet likely has water on it, and a key ingredient for life. That could mean that there may be life on the planet in some form. The second alien world TESS discovered is even closer to us, orbiting around a red dwarf star only 49 light-years away, or 288 trillion miles from Earth. The planet is comparable in size to Earth, but is slightly larger and has a much shorter orbital period around its star. This planet orbits LHS 3844, a M-dwarf star exactly 49 light-years away as mentioned earlier, and it orbits it every 11 hours. The finding is currently being reviewed by scientists that are calling it a hot Earth. NASA, however, claims that the heat of these planets is likely too high for any form of life to have formed there, which to me sounds quite contradictory to findings here on our own planet regarding extremophile organisms that can survive in absurdly high or absurdly low temperatures. Knowing this, I have a hard time believing that there is a zero chance of either of these worlds containing at least some form of life, and I think that NASA likely knows this as well. Of course, they would not allow us to know about the planets where there actually is some form of intelligent life, since they have been covering up the existence of things like UFOs in space, structures found on the moon, and other planets like Mars for a very long time now, and I think that this is nothing more than their way of slowly drip-feeding us information in order to eventually disclose the existence of intelligent life to us all. As Luis Elizondo, ex-head of the Pentagon's Advanced Aeronautic Threat Identification Program said, disclosure is likely already occurring, slowly but surely, although the government would never allow the release of that information all at once. They would need to ease the public into it to avoid being labeled as liars and risk angering the public. NASA has known the truth about the existence of intelligent life for years now, and TESS seems to be the perfect addition for NASA to slowly release more and more information regarding worlds so close to ours that an advanced enough species likely could transverse the distance between us and them if they wanted to visit this world, and I am very confident in saying they definitely have, and they have been doing it for a very long time now. To further lament these claims regarding disclosure, scientists are now saying they believe extraterrestrials may be in our galactic backyard, and they are on the brink of discovering it. Lewis Dartnell, an astrobiologist at the University of Westminster, says the huge advances in technology will lead to the discovery of aliens within our solar system in the not-so-distant future. The astrobiologist, which is a scientist who hunts for life in the cosmos, says if organisms can survive in extremely harsh conditions on Earth, there is no reason why they could not survive on other worlds, further driving home my point that even with the harsh conditions on other worlds that NASA scientists claim are inhospitable for life, they are likely not being honest with with us. We are not the only form of living organism there is, and with the discoveries of these creatures that can survive in such extreme conditions, there is no reason, in my opinion, not to believe that these types of organisms could not have evolved into something intelligent on another world that would be inhospitable to us. Life seems to be able to adapt to almost any conditions, and I think there is a huge chance that TESS may be NASA's new way of letting us know just how close to the truth we actually are. What do you guys think? Is this the latest way for NASA to finally start disclosing the truth about this subject? Because I sure do think it is. In the end, though, only time will tell. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, but stay tuned because there is a lot more coming, and we will have it posted very soon. If you liked the video, then please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out, share it, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell. It really helps us out, and it'll let you guys stay up to date by sending you a message straight to your inbox every time we upload a video, and you could stay on the up and up with all of the latest alternative news. And remember, you have to hit the bell button, or YouTube will not notify you when our new videos come out. Unfortunately, just subscribing on YouTube simply is not enough these days, since YouTube seems to want to pick and choose the content that people see, but that will not stop us from moving forward. Also, if you want updates on when our videos will be coming out, then please go follow our Facebook page. The link is down in the video description. And if you have some UFO footage or evidence that you would like us to feature on the channel, then please email it over to us. Our email is down in the description as well, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you guys want to help keep this channel going strong, then buying some of our merch or donating even $1 a month to our Patreon will be extremely appreciated, because YouTube is not paying us, so this is all out of pocket for us. However, as I've said many times before, we love it and we won't be quitting anytime soon. Thanks again for your support, guys. It means a lot to us, and don't forget to browse the channel if you're new and get yourself up to speed. As always, I'm Richard with Alien Bros, and I'll see you guys again next video.